Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Honest Q&A. If you have any questions for me, please leave them down below. Let's go. Ever refused a demo offer because you didn't like the pedal gear at all? I don't think I ever said no to a pedal, but I have said no to a lot of different music gear like microphones and stuff like that I really don't think will fit the channel, but not necessarily because I don't like the product. It's more that I think it needs to fit my viewers the best. And also I've never received a product and then tried it and decided to send it back. I've always made a video of it or featured it in another video. What's your favorite guitar tone? That is really a big question and it's not necessarily easy to answer. Right now I would say it involves my new Fender Tweed Deluxe 57 reissue. I think it's handmade even. Something going into that because it sounds amazing, and I will be doing a video of that pretty soon. But that is as close as we can get to the guitar sound that I've heard in my head for all of these years. So I would say that, but when it comes to recorded guitar tones, I think it's really difficult to say because you have so many different tones that goes with different genres and different types of songs. So it's really difficult to pick one. Yeah. Thoughts on SGs? I really like them. I don't have a Gibson SG, but I have my Maybach Albatross, which is amazing. I really like the ones, I think they are from 61 with the vibrola arm. I think you both can get a custom shop and I believe a 2019 regular Gibson of those. So that's something that I'm craving for my collection actually. Are you hyped about the Amazon Prime Lord of the Rings prequel? Yes, I am. I haven't really read much about it. At first, I thought they were doing a redo of the movies, sort of, in a TV show format, but it's a prequel. I need some new TV shows in my life, so I'm really looking forward to that. Also, if you have any other suggestions about TV shows, please leave them down below. What about transistor amps like Peavy standard that Queens of the Stone Age uses? That is really interesting. I have been looking to get one of those for quite some time now. They are really difficult to come by, which is probably because of Josh using them. If you go back a few years, I bet you can get those dirt cheap. But yeah, now they are really hard to come by and I can see that the prices are going up quite a lot. But yeah, the standard and also the musician, I believe it is. I'm trying to get one of those to check out. I've noticed that you have a decently large pedal board, but you don't use a switcher to control them. Why not? Well, first, I think it's because I'm using my pedal board in the studio. I don't use it live, and then it's not really something that I need. I don't need to turn on and off 5 pedals at once. I don't mind opening up the lid to reach the pedals underneath that. That's not a problem when I'm just fooling around and recording here in my studio. That is probably the main reason. I just don't need it. It would take up a lot of space on my board. I prefer to have more pedals on it then. Also, there's something in me that prefers to add or remove one thing from my sound, and I'm not sure what that is. I feel that changing my sound drastically can lead to some problems, maybe problems in volume. I just prefer when the transition from one sound to another one is more smooth, I guess. That will of course lead to some tap dancing. I'm usually fine with that. Maybe that is because even though my board is big and I have a lot of stuff on there, my sound is usually pretty simple. But yeah, I'm not really sure what it is. I'm not a huge fan of presets and MIDI and stuff like that. I like to have a sound and then add stuff or remove stuff from that sound and not go too far away from that sound with just one click. I don't know, I might be a bit conservative about this, but I just find it easier to be without. Like for example, having a clean sound and a driven sound. I prefer to have sort of a volume swell going from the clean sound to the driven sound, like a smooth transition, instead of kicking in a pedal and have a drastic change just like that. Not always, of course, sometimes you want it to be like that, but most of the time I think it's a bit more organic to have things blend together more. Yeah. How do you feel about the fact there are almost no negative reviews on your channel? Well, I think the easy answer to that is that most of the stuff, or in fact all of the stuff that I receive, is pretty good. Even cheap stuff is pretty good these days. And I'm really trying to find more negative stuff to make my reviews a bit more like balanced. But again, I don't want to be that guy who's sort of looking for bad stuff. I want my first impression, I want my impression to be real. And then honestly, I often end up being pretty positive about a product. Of course, I want to point out the stuff that I'm not a huge fan of. Like the other day, I actually did a demo where I had a lot of stuff to point out, and that was a review that ended up being mostly negative. But then it turned out it was a faulty unit, so that was the reason. And then of course I will redo that demo review with a unit that works, and you will never see that review because it was the unit that was broken. So I really get it. Most of my stuff here is really positive, but I'm really trying to look at it from both sides. But I don't want to be that guy who's looking for something to complain about when I really don't feel that there's anything to complain about. Maybe I have a way to go there. Maybe I need to be harder on stuff, but I'm trying to be as honest as I can be. And I also think that often when I think about something that I don't like about a certain product, I'm thinking that, well, this is just me. Maybe the color of this product doesn't mean anything to other people, and then I really don't see the point in mentioning it because it's a really minor thing in the whole perspective of that product. So yeah, again, maybe I should be harder on stuff, but I don't want to do it just because I want there to be a good reason for doing it. Okay, there you have it. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Thank you for watching. Give this video a like maybe if you enjoyed. That really helps me and the channel. Goodbye.